Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, ayan. Nice switch na. Okay, magandang Thursday night. Happy Thursday night sa inyo lahat. Teka muna, ubulong ako. Okay, so magandang gabi ho sa inyo lahat, sa ating mga kababayan sa apat na sulok ho ng United Kingdom. Ayan, good evening. At syempre, teka muna, ubo na naman ako. Doon sa ating mga kababayan sa apat na sulok na Europa, welcome ho kayo dito sa ating programa. No? Siyempre, meron din tayong mga listeners from North America, no? Maging siguro South America ho. No? Dahil nung araw sa radio show ho natin, marami ho tayong mga listeners doon, no? Sa South America. At siyempre, yung mga nasa Pilipinas, mga nasa Middle East, welcome ho kayo. It's a happy Thursday. Excited naman ho ako dahil siyempre, gabi ho to ng kaalaman, no? At bago ho tayo nagtapos, sabi natin, ano kaya ang suot ngayon ni attorney? Di ho ba, no? Yun ang pag-uusapan natin. Ano ba kanya ang suot? Kumusta ang kanyang linggo? And we look forward every time we end the show on a Thursday night. Parang, hindi naman malungkot, pero may parang feeling of missing, no? The good attorney. Dahil isang linggo na naman natin makikita. Inaabangan natin kung ano kaya suot niya. Meron siya mga rust red ba yun? Wine red, rust brown, mga ganun mga damit. May black, of course. Meron yung mga blue din, di ba? Ayan. Okay, so ito na ho. Tatawagan ko na. Yung managing partner ho ng Douglas Simon Solicitors, ang ating immigration expert na mimiss natin every week. Mga kaibigan, Brains and Beauty, ang ating very good friend, Attorney LIRA SIMON-CABATBAT. Happy Thursday, Attorney.
Sonny, happy Thursday! Good to be back. Kamusta po kayong lahat? I'm so happy to be back. Yung sabi mo nga, I look forward. I know it's I say it every time nga, but I really look forward to Thursdays. In the morning, no, I get up and I think, oh yeah, Thursday nga ngayon, no? It's it is really a happy Thursday. I so look forward to it. So yes. I'm pleased to be back.
We're looking forward to the knowledge that we gain, okay, and the help that we give to our kababayans by way of the information, di ba? When they have questions, may mga tanong sila, and we answer them. Somehow, it empowers them, di ba? So, aside from that, of course, yung ating mission of empowering our kababayan to know about the immigration law, we look forward to ano kaya ang suot ni attorney. Ano isusuot niya? Dark-colored ba? Red wine, di ba, attorney? Ano ba isa? Rust brown ba, sabi nila? Mga description nila?
Yes.
Mga ganun, no. So, ano ba suot mo ngayon? Mukhang light, ano ka ngayon? Mukhang, ano ba yan?
Actually, yeah.
Last week, naka-turtleneck ka ba? Ano ba, nakasuot ka ba last week? Ano ba suot mo last week?
Yeah, I think I was in navy blue, tapos turtleneck nga. No, I had I think then I had it could be that I had a hearing in the morning. So yun nga una. So you can always tell pagka meron kong korte, I'm usually in either dark brown or actually not dark brown, even dark navy blue o kaya black.
Black.
But look,
okay.
Mga kababayan, we don't speak about we don't we don't organize nga yung outfit natin, but I would say today particularly I would call this nga bubblegum pink. And sa'yo, baby blue. Di ba?
Yes. Oh, baby blue.
Mo.
Yes.
Yeah?
Bubble
baby
gum.
Blue and bubblegum pink.
Ngayon ko lang narinig nga, bubblegum pink. Ang cute naman, attorney. That's a nice parang adjective added on to pink, no? Bubblegum pink. Wow, parang galing ha,
Yeah,
bubblegum
bubblegum
pink.
pink.
Now, totoo yan, hindi kami nag-uusap na. Hindi naman kami yung umaga attorney, ano susuot mo mamaya? Tayo, medyo partner tayo ng kulay. Hindi. Talagang na-tsempo, no? It's nice, no? It's nice. Okay, so bubblegum pink and baby blue. Oh, tama-tama. So that means we feel young tonight. Bubblegum pink, di ba? Bubblegum, di ba? Bubblegum. Mga kids do, sabagay, maski may edad, nagchuchew ng gum, pero mostly mga kids yan, di ba? Bubblegums. And then baby pink. Ayun, no? So good evening ho. Good evening ho sa inyong lahat. At nakakatuwa. You can watch us by the way on YouTube. So YouTube na ho, pwede ho kayo manood doon, no? Because soon that's gonna be our main medium, no, of our show, so especially when we come up with ultra high definition videos. If you want talagang crystal clear na video, napakalinis at kitang-kita niyo yung baby blue kong damit at ang bubblegum pink ni Attorney Lira SIMON-CABATBAT, YouTube is the best, no? Okay, tonight surprisingly, attorney, ang unang, teka muna, how was your week?
Yeah, no, it was, I mean, every week, no, sinasabi ko nga, it's been quite busy. This week has been diabolically busy. No, I've had, actually, I think it's only today, and nawala akong hearing, but otherwise I've been fully booked with hearings or conferences to prepare for hearings. So those of you who are waiting for court hearings to happen, it will come soon because it's everything is being, at the moment everything is listed very, very rapidly. So kung inintay nyo ang mga hearings nyo, I think it will probably come soon. So it's prepare.
In the news today, watching the 6 o'clock news, parang the government ba is parang not obliging or obligating yung mga GPs for face-to-face mga, di ba, mga consultations, no? And the government, I think, added or earmarked some additional budget. But syempre, mga GPs would say, oh, kulang yan, you know, we need some locums and so on and so forth. Pero the point is, yung people are clamoring for a face-to-face. Kasi laging ano tag dito, yung telephone, di ba? Ang consultations.
Yeah.
So ngayon ba, are we slowly getting to this face-to-face, yung mga sa mga hearings? Or still, nandiyan yung, ano ba, 50-50 or 70-30, 70 more on the virtual? Or meron ng presence na rin na you can see ano ba, yung mga tribunal, mga ano ba yung mga tinitingnan nila? Who do you appear to?
Well, it's so tribunals, for example, kaya yung court hearings nga, no, county court, for example. At the moment, I would say 80% pa rin remote hearing.
Okay, remote pa rin, 80%.
Yeah, so 80%. And I think that's the only way nga they can catch up also. It's in the first siguro 2-3 months of the lockdown. Not much, frankly, was happening. No, nothing. Cases were adjourned. They weren't really sure how best to approach it. But
what lockdown are we talking about? Was this last year? Are we talking about last year?
No. Yeah, last year from March
April,
until
ganyan, March, April, May.
Yeah,
okay.
March to about May. There was a bit of confusion and concerns nga, no? Dahil mga hearing, they were just not being listed. And then they started listing them remotely. And now they are actually still using the remote method, and I think it's not a bad idea, but they do need to increase, I think, the face-to-face. No, much like GPs, diba? It's just different. I think it's still very important, especially mga in relation to witnesses, that they actually appear at court and be seen, no, rather than to. It's just not the same, and I think it's important we get back to normality.
Pero sunis ba yan? Sunis na ba yan sa inyong mga sa situation ninyo, attorney? Diyan sa
I
mga
think
hearings?
Hindi
pa?
Yeah.
Hindi
No, I think siguro mga if we're lucky, maybe by March nga we start seeing a swing towards face to face uli, but probably in the civil courts rather than rather than say, tribunals nga. So yeah, no, we have to put up still with remote hearings, but it's better than nothing. Put it that way, no. Yung nga lang it's still challenging. But one good thing is they're listing them fast. So hopefully the backlog goes.
Okay, since last year until this time, anything funny happening? Because there was this viral court hearing, I think, wherein I don't know, was it the judge or the lawyer having his face with this parang animal. Remember that? I think
cat.
Cat, something like that, no? Anything from April, from March of last year till now, walang anything funny happening.
Oh, you try
experience?
not to put it down. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
you try not to, because of course it's but yes, you do have I've had, and this happens not regularly. No, a judge, for example, would be clearly in his or her dining room, no, and with the iPad or computer propped up. Tapos you suddenly hear the bell ringing and weird tones from the bell, or dogs barking.
Bell, so like deliveries, ganyan?
Yeah, deliveries. And you could see them tightening, kind of getting stressed, because obviously you can't just get up and let them in, or indeed shout to say, someone get the blast the door, or yung mga aso. And that actually happens relatively regularly. Or sometimes, or sometimes the background, no? You see some pictures that are a little bit strange, put it that way, in the background. So it's it's an amusing process. But I hope that people don't get too used to it. That important. I think it's a useful tool for the moment, but I do think we need to get back to face to face, because it's important.
How do you call them? Judges? Judges? Do you call them judges?
Yeah.
Are you getting to see the same person, or are there different judges on different occasions, on different cases? Meron
Most of the time, it's
tatlo lang sila, o dalawa lang sila, ganun?
No, you get to there are many judges nga, no, and usually you don't usually you have different judges for different times nga, but there are times also that somehow tiempo nga lang, I come across the same judge for the next 6 times I'm at court. So you get to know them, and maybe their style a little bit more, kung anong gusto nila, whether you should speak more slowly or faster, or you should maybe truncate what you're going to say, because they will get otherwise impatient with you. So you do get to get some idea of what they like by way of style. But yeah, there are different judges nga.
Which works to your advantage in a way, because you're now familiar with the guy or the girl or whoever the judge is, and like you said, to speak slower or slowly or faster. Alam mo na, may mga alam mo na how to deal with the judge. Mas okay na, mas smooth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And they remember you. You see.
They remember you. They remember? No, because you're always in your dark blue or black, no. So they wouldn't remember you if you're in your bubblegum pink or red wine. They wouldn't know, no. So laging ganon. Is it like an parang standard attire? Even the judge would be wearing the same, ba? Yung mga dark blue or black?
Yeah. Generally, judges also adhere to kind of a formal attire, dark blue, dark brown, and navy nga. Some they don't have to necessarily, as long as it's formal, no. But I suppose I play it safe, no. You don't. I don't think I would offend them with bubblegum pink, but.
No, with the blazer. Bubblegum
of course.
inside with the
blazer.
No,
Yeah. No, you have to. You can't. I would never dare go with short sleeve before judge. You need to show also decorum, respect.
Of course, of course. Okay, attorney. Funny for tonight, huh? The first message came through YouTube.
Talaga?
YouTube.
Wow.
Pero nakakatuwa, YouTube and Facebook nagsabay. Eksakto. So, ganun kahusay.
Ooh.
Okay, now comes
Oh.
a little game that we play every week, no? You just to acknowledge the first viewer or first friend of the program who has acknowledged viewing the program by way of YouTube and Facebook na nag-acknowledge. Who do you guess? A man or a woman? Walang dayaan.
I mean,
no,
okay.
Walang tingin-tingin.
Yeah,
katuwa
no,
lang,
no,
ha?
definitely po.
Oh, it's
Hindi.
just a little
Yun
game
nga, yun
that
nga.
we play. Okay.
I think today I'm going with the ladies, okay? But
The ladies,
maybe sabihin natin Miss Batong Bakal.
Miss Batumbakal. Direct.
Kaya
What do you think? Miss Batumbakal? YouTube to. Attorney, YouTube. YouTube, yeah. Yes! Oliver Fernandez.
Oliver!
Oh, yes,
yeah.
from America.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. Yun. Oliver, yes, of course. Yeah. It's sabi niya, it's a rain-blessed Thursday here. Yeah. Okay. Washington, no? Good morning po, Attorney Lira. Oh, yeah, of course. Good morning. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Kuya
yeah.
Sonny and
It's,
Direct Pal. Yeah.
If it's 7, 8 hours, 11-ish. Mag 12 noon. Yeah.
I tell you what, tingnan mo. Will it be royal blue, old rose, or jet black today? But he's close. No, royal
He's
blue.
close.
Yeah, we have baby
Yeah.
blue. And
Okay.
we have bubblegum pink. Yeah.
Bubblegum
Oh,
pink,
jet
old
black
rose.
today. So
Jet black today. Oo.
you are very good, Mr.
Kita mo,
Fernandez.
attorney, it becomes, what do you call this, parang, ano ba yun, parang yung pala-isipan eh. Ano kaya, looking forward as well, aside from watching the program, ano kaya suot ni attorney? Naku, attorney, you'll be stressed now. Because you will be wondering, ano kaya susuot ko next week? Because the viewers are also taking notice of what I'm wearing. So, yeah. And then, tsaka yung mga colors, di ba? Ang ganda ng mga description natin ng color.
Yeah.
Di ba? Rusty, brown, ano ba yun? Tapos, ano pa ba isa? Yung, rusty, brown, red wine red. May nagsabi, di ba?
Wine red.
Wine red. Oh, may nag-wine red.
Wine red, di ba? Wine red.
Oo, may
Yeah, that
wine
was a
red.
great description, actually.
Description.
Yeah, tama.
Meron yata blood red, di ba? Hindi ko yung mga description kasi, di ba? Yung mga colors. Okay, sige. So, siya sa first sa YouTube and the first one to greet us. Now we come to, he's also dito. Tingnan natin kung sino ang first sa Facebook. Oo. Yan,
Yes, you
Facebook.
did.
Siya rin.
Yes, you did.
Same message,
lovely
pero
man.
he duplicated the message, no, on both. Ayan, Facebook, no. So,
He's brilliant.
mabuhay. Brilliant, Oliver, mabuhay ka. We salute you. And tama ang message niya. Looking forward, will it be royal blue, old rose, or jet black? Ayun.
Jet black.
Okay. All right. Ang silver medalist for tonight. Hulaan mo, attorney.
Okay, I'm still sticking with the ladies. Miss Paner, sabihin natin.
Miss Paner. Direct, tignan nga natin. Kita mo naman. Meron pa tayong drum rolls, ha? Tatatan. Ayan!
Hello, Miss Paner.
Marian
Tama ako.
Galicia
Hello,
Paner.
hello.
Ooh.
Oh, look at
Well,
that picture.
yes,
You
yes,
look
yes.
lovely, Miss Paner.
Yes.
Bagong picture niya.
Miss Paner, maganda picture niya. Oo. Oh, yes. I'd like to remind everybody, you can watch us both on Facebook and YouTube. But we highly recommend, if you'd like to watch us on ultra high definition, it has to be YouTube. Okay. Ayan. Sino ang susunod natin? Sige, mga pagbati natin. Mabilis na, direct. Sige. Ayan.
There you go. Nandiyan si Miss Batong Bakal. Third
Yes.
place, no? Well, actually, yeah. So,
Third placer.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah. Good evening, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday to all. To you too, Miss Batong Bakal. Musta?
Susan, no? Batong Bakal. Ayun. Oo. Next.
And of course, the lovely Miss Mendez. Maris Mendez, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, no?
Happy Thursday. Yes, Maris. Uy.
Yeah, okay. Si
Siya uli.
Miss Paner uli. So, yeah, magandang gabi po, Kuya
mahaba.
Sonny and Attorney. Yeah, at sa lahat, happy Thursday po and stay safe and God bless us po. Yeah, yun nga.
Yes, including everybody.
tama.
Talagang we're wishing everybody,
Tama.
to be safe and well. Okay, next.
Meka Mika. Good evening po, sir. Legendary. Sonny, yeah. And
Oh.
Attorney Gandang Lira, masayang Huwebes po sa ating lahat.
Kita mo, attorney?
Yeah.
Oh, with all of these kind words to us, diba? Bakit ba?
So
Why will
fun.
you not look forward to Thursday night? Diba?
Tama.
Tama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yun na nga. It's yeah. Neng.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neng.
Hello po. Hi, Neng.
Iksi naman ang pangalan mo. Neng po. Hello po. Hello, Neng. Ayan, parang papakita na sila sa YouTube. Oh, okay. Good, good. Ayan.
Okay. Jesusa. Batong Bakal, are you related? No?
No, the same.
Hello
That's
po,
one of the
good
same
evening
person.
po.
Si Susan Baltumbakal yan.
Talaga?
Yes.
Jesusa din siya?
siguro. Yata. Yeah, yun ang pangalan siguro niya.
Yeah?
Okay. Uy.
So,
Emily Rafael.
yeah, Miss Rafael. And she's feeling fine, no? Because we have capitals, yeah? Hello,
Oh, yeah,
Sonny and
of
Attorney
course.
Lira. And happy Thursday to you both and everyone. I assume nasa, is it Dubai, no? Is it Dubai pa rin?
Nasa
Yeah.
Dubai siya.
Yeah.
I know nasa Dubai siya for the expo, but she is actually based in Abu Dhabi, as far as I know. Dahil yung daughter ba niya naka-base sa Abu Dhabi. Teka muna, Abu Dhabi, ikaw, Emmeline, sinasabi mo nasa Dubai Expo ka, pero ang sabi sa akin ni Marites, today pala mga ang opening ba? Sabi ng anak niya nung nag-guest namin. Hanapin mo si Kirk.
Oh.
Lumipad papunta ng Dubai si Marites Allen, pati yung husband niya si Nick, to attend Kirk Allen's expo or booth, o hindi ko alam kung diyan sa ano, no?
Wow.
O sa Dubai attorney, no? Ayan. So, yes. Tapos may message dito. Ano pa may message dito ba? Ayan.
Oh, salamat, Miss Rafael. So she's being so complimentary, so very kind, no? So Attorney Lira, looking fabulous with your pink blouse and looking young. Sonny with light blue shirt. Talaga naman.
Wow. Uy,
all
description ni
these
attorney dito, baby blue. Baby blue. Oh, kaya pala, young. Talaga magmumukha tayong young. Mukha tayong baby dito tonight, no? Because of this shirt. Yeah, thank you, Emily. Thanks a lot for ayan. Hindi namin alam kung saan sa expo, no? Sinatanong ni ano. Basta expo, hanapin mo na lang yung parang ano daw sila mga Kirk Allen. Hanapin mo si Kirk Allen. Baka sakali doon. Iyan mo na lang. Okay. Alright. Well, sige, yan na muna ating mga initial batches, no? Batch ng mga pagbati sa ating sa gabing ito, no? And later on, if you have any questions para kay attorney, kunyari, no? Halimbawa, mga legal, yung mga immigration questions, so ipasok lang ho ninyo. Ang topic ho natin for tonight is immigration and marrying in the UK. Ayan ang topic natin.
Yeah.
Marrying
Yeah.
the UK. Ayan. We're gonna have a short break muna. At pagbalik ho natin, teka muna, konting pasakali lang. Ano to? Immigration, ano ang tatalakay mo? Yung gist niya, briefly, anong pag-uusapan, attorney?
Yeah, so ito, I mean, very briefly nga, no, kung wala namang problema immigration, what you have to do if you want to marry in the UK. But mainly focusing, kung wala kayong visa, gusto nyo magpakasal nga dito, unang-una, pwede ba? No? And then, kung pwede, yung process. So, it's quite a big topic nga. So, no, stay tuned. I think it's quite an interesting one.
Okay, so yun ang sabi. Stay tuned dahil napaka-importante nito, no? We're gonna have a short break and when we come back, yung topic ko ay tatalakayin ho ni attorney. Don't go away.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O, ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, balik tayo sa ating palatuntunang Immigration Corner. Ako po si Sonny Laragan for those who have tuned in just now. At syempre, kasama natin yung ating Brains and Beauty, no? Ang ating eksperto ho sa larangan ng immigration. Wala nga ba, kundi ang managing partner ng Douglas Simon Solicitors, si Attorney LIRA, SIMON-CABATBAT. Good evening once again, Attorney.
Hi, Sonny. Sorry, can you... yeah, there you are. Yeah,
There
happy
you are.
Thursday ulit.
All right. Okay, yes. Oh, yes. Ngayon, tatalakayin na natin yung topic natin, no? Immigration and marrying in the UK. So, Attorney, take it away.
Okay. So, ito pong topic nga natin. So, immigration and marrying in the UK. It is a big topic and it can be very complex. It can be very confusing. And of course, it can be very stressful. Dahil gusto nyo magpakasal nga dito, you want to be with your sweetheart, no? And that can be quite overwhelming kung hindi nyo alam kung anong kailangan yung gawin. So, pag-usapan natin maigi. So, let's start by saying, unang-una, you need, of course, to be free to marry. So, if you are married, even if you're married nga sa Pinas or anywhere, no? That means that you are not free to marry. In order to be free to marry, if you're already married, then you need to get a divorce. Now, we spoke nga before, kung kasal kayo sa atin, can you get divorced? The answer is potentially yes nga dito, but that's not really the main topic nga ngayon. So ito, pag-uusapan natin, I'm making the assumption that you are free to marry. So hindi kayo kasal, o kaya kung kasal kayo dati, then you're divorced already. Yeah. So with that assumption in mind, unang-una po, kung may indefinite leave kayo dito, indefinite leave to remain, settlement status kayo dito, o kaya British kayo, o Irish kayo, or you have what's called settled status or pre-settled status under the EU settlement scheme. If you remember nga, people from the EU had to make an application by the 30th of June under the EU settlement scheme. Kung yun, may status kayo dito, usually it's not a problem. So you go to your to the registrar, to the civil registrar. You normally need to book an appointment, and you are required to give at least 28 days notice, no, before you're able to marry. So yun ang unang-una. So kung may visa kayo, that is indefinite settlement, British, Irish settled or pre-settled status dito, no problem. Go to the local registrar, and that's apart from producing your documents, nothing else needs to happen. Now, and of course, then you can marry. The problem comes about though, kung wala nga kayong visa. Kung wala kayong visa, o kaya you only have limited leave to remain, sabihin natin estudyante kayo dito, no? Then usually when you book nga an appointment, you need to see what's called ang tawag sa kanila designated registrar. Now, what is a designated registrar? Basically, they're registrars but with additional training, if you like, and responsibilities. And their main concern is to spot, if you like, concerns about the genuineness of a marriage. So basically, sham marriages, no? And then, pagka nakita kayo, sasabihin nila sa inyo, okay, dahil wala kayong visa, o kaya may visa kayo, but you have limited leave to remain in the UK, kailangan namin i-report to sa Home Office. Huwag kayong matakot, no? Because that's their job. They have to do that. They have to report it to the Home Office. So make sure nga na hindi nga lang basta-basta kayo pumunta sa designated registrar. You need to make sure also, especially wala kayong status nga dito, that you can take then the next step, which is probably that you want to make an application, for example, for regularization of your leave to remain. So sometimes, marami kailangan ihanda nga And so make sure that you prepare and are prepared to make the application before you're seeing the designated registrar. Now, pagka nakita kayo, they will interview you. And the interview can siguro, the shortest that's been reported to me at least was something like 5 minutes nga lang, ano? But sometimes it can go on for longer. It's a fairly informal interview. So tatanungin nga kayo, no, when did you meet? How did you meet? Hindi sila home office. But they will ask you questions that may, in their mind, no, establish nga if the relationship is genuine or not. And then they will make a report to the home office. Okay? As I say, that's their job, gagawin nila. So it's not a question of if, they will, and they're obliged to make a report to the home office. And in that report, sasabihin nila, are there concerns nga, o kaya do they think that the relationship nga is genuine? No? Now, kung wala nga kayong visa, then of course, nakakatakot nga yun. Then sasabihin nila sa home office, itong balak nyo. So that's why it's important that you are prepared. Now, the home office will then do a number of, one of really 3 possible things. No? So the home office will say, pagka nakuha na nila yung report galing sa designated registrar, they will either say, okay, we would like to extend the 28 days notice to 70 days. No? And they will email this usually to you. The reason for that is in the 70 days, they can then decide, do they want, for example, to interview you? Or do they want to receive documents from you? Or do they want you to attend a meeting with them? So they have then a little bit more time, more than double the time, to have a look a bit more about your intention to marry. So yun ang una. So they can say, okay, we want to extend 28 days to 70 days po. Pangalawa, they may say, okay, nakuha na namin yung report, 28 days is fine, you can get married, within the 28 days nga. Sometimes also, and certainly I've come across this, walang contact, for whatever reason. The home office have not bothered making contact with my client. If that's the case, then after the 28 days or shortly before, on the 27th or 26th day, for example, kontakin yung registrar. Sabihin niyo sa kanila, wala pa rin contact nga yung home office, can we get a date for marriage? And if that's the case, they'll give you then a date for marriage. But you will, kung sabi ng home office, they want you to wait 70 days, then you will have to wait 70 days. Hindi kayo bibigyan ng petsa nga to be able to marry before that time if the home office have said, kailangan nila yung 70 days. Now, during that time, of course, siguro kinakabahan nga kayo, no? I mean, don't necessarily get too nervous about it. I mean, if it's a genuine relationship, they may want to interview you, as I say, and they will ask you questions. And if you simply answer nga truthfully. Now, that's why at this point you need to nga make sure that you are ready. Now, let's sabihin natin that was fine. Either 70 days has passed or 28 days has passed. You then allowed to marry, and then the home office writes to you, mag-email sila, sasabihin nila, okay, well, you can get married 28 days or 70 days. Now, importante po, hindi naman ibig sabihin, kahit sabihin nila, wala nang problema, you can get married. It does not mean that nabibigay nga yung application nyo, nabibigyan kayo ng visa. It does not cure the immigration. Importante po yun. And also, pagkakasal na din kayo, not on its own, also does not cure your immigration. Because I've had some clients nga who thought, okay, pagkakasal na sila, wala nang problema, that they get the visa nga automatically. Hindi po yung tama. You still need to make nga the application. And as I say, allowing you to marry, or rather not objecting to the marriage nga, does not mean they're accepting also that you satisfy or that you would satisfy any application that you then make. So, even going as far as marriage nga, it does not mean that they will accept the relationship. So it's still for you to make the case. Now, just going back a little bit, what often concerns nga clients is, ano mangyayari? So, kung sasabihin nga namin sa registrar, gusto namin magpakasal, would the home office simply turn up? No? The answer is they should not simply turn up. But sometimes, of course, they would be, kung wala na kayong visa, it may be an idea also to see about making an application even before the marriage, especially kung matagal na nga kayo. I sometimes advise that for clients to do. Kung yun ang unang-una, kung matagal na nga sila dito and we have evidence to show na matagal na nga sila nagsasama. Firstly, really, to give them some kind of protection, no? Because of course, the Home Office should deal with the application, either grant it or refuse it before taking enforcement action against you. So yun una. Pangalawa po, kung nagdududa nga yung Home Office, no, once they hear from the registrar, nagdududa sila kung genuine nga ang relationship nyo o hindi. Kung nagpasok na kayong application and you've supported it also, you've also uploaded yung mga documents in support of the application, then at least makikita nga nila, no, na meron kayong nagsasama kayo, you have evidence of cohabitation, kung meron kayong anak, meron ng birth certificate, and then likelihood is, kung nakita nga nila yun, that they will not insist on the 70 days, but will simply say, okay, 28 days. No? So it may make them less concerned, no, about the genuineness of your relationship, which may in turn lead to less issues, like yung nga, as I say, not extending it to 70 days, for example. So consider it. So either you can make the application nga bago magkita kayo ng registrar and therefore before the marriage, or you can wait until after the marriage and make an application then. But there is some advantage to make an application before, but it depends really kung anong sitwasyon nyo, no? It could also be that you're not ready, for example, you're waiting for employment nga. So take advice before doing anything. Now, importante din po to, pagka sabihin natin, you went to the registrar, you either went through the 28 days o kaya 70 days notice, you then were able to marry, no? Then you make the application, yeah? Now, when you're making the application, again, that's not the end of it. Importante po, back up your application, no? So, kung nagsasama nga kayo dati, make sure that you submit evidence of your previous cohabitation. Kung meron kayong mga anak, of course, birth certificates nila. Kung hindi pa kayo matagal nagsasama, then maybe something else that shows nga that maybe you're living together. Now, kung hindi pa kayo nagsasama nga dati, and you're only going to live together after marriage, then maybe something from friends to say nga na, yeah, they know that you've been in a relationship, for example. The amount of evidence sometimes will depend also on yung status nyo nga dito. Of course, if you have limited leave to remain in the UK, sabihin natin estudyante, but you still have a visa, then you may be less concerned, no? Pero kung wala na nga kayong visa, overstay na nga kayo dito, then there's every mileage in putting documents put together. Truly, it is so important nga now that you prepare. So, if you like, the tip or the trick, for want of a better word, is really to say, preparation. Importante po yun, especially kung wala na kayong status. So, kung gusto nyo magpakasal dito, kahit wala nga kayong visa, pwede po, no? As long as you are free to marry. That's just the thing to be concerned about, as I've said nga, is yung designated registrar and the report then to the Home Office, and make sure po, no, na ready kayo, na sapat nga yung mga dokumento nyo. So, prepare it. So, if you already now, ngayon nga, no, you're looking to, nanonood kayo ngayon, and you say, oh, actually, it's something we want to do. We want to get married nga, now that people are also able to marry, given COVID nga. Then, start putting away putting your documents together, no? Huwag kayo magtapon kahit ano. Put it to the side, no? Put it in a bag, or put it in a box, and then put it in date order. Because it could be that later on, kailangan ng solicitor, no? Kung hindi namin kailangan, hindi namin gagamitin. But at least it's a choice. But don't throw anything away. Kahit mga remittances, for example, nagpapadala kayo o nagpapadala ang partner nyo para sa inyo, then again, don't throw those things away. Prepare your documents, no? But the good news is, as I say, kahit wala nga kayong visa dito, o kaya limited visa kayo dito, then as long as you are free to marry, you should still be able to marry in the United Kingdom. But just Prepare, be careful, but prepare.
Ayan. Okay. Ayan. All right. So, ayan. Okay. So, immigration and marrying in the UK. Yun ang ating tinalakay. Siya, can you describe muna yung first stage attorney? So, you apply, siyempre, you decide to get married, no? And then you apply sa isang registrar, no? Yung designated registrar. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it gets sent, paano yan? It gets sent to the home office?
Opo. Yeah. I mean, I suppose going back a little bit more nga, no? Regardless kung may visa kayo, wala kayong visa nga dito. The first step really is, no, to the registrar. Who do you approach nga? So there's go online, no?
Okay.
There's a list of registrars nga. Depends yung borough nyo. So for example, London Borough of Richmond, where my office is, no? It is actually, there's no designated registrar in Richmond. It's Kingston upon Thames, for example. No?
Okay.
So you make contact now with them. Usually you can book an appointment, online, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, online. There's a small fee to pay, which I think is something like £35, a little bit more. I think it's £47 nga kung wala, if you have limited leave or no leave at all.
Sandali, sandali, attorney. £35 pagka?
Yeah, so 35. Actually,
leave?
let me just check here. Yeah.
Sige.
So it's £35 kung walang problema, and then I think it goes up a little bit to
When you say walang
£47.
problema, what do you mean sa walang problema?
British. So
Pag
someone
hindi
British. Yeah, so kung meron kang
British,
indefinite o British,
indefinite,
kung British ka, £35.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
Otherwise, I think it's £47, tataas ng konti, £47 kung wala, for example, kung wala kang visa.
kung wala kang visa, or let's say student visa ka, or nandun ka pa sa di ba? Parang work permit na no? Yung
Sure.
Ano tawag natin doon? Yung may tawag tayo doon eh.
Skilled worker route.
Skilled worker,
for
yes.
example.
Skilled worker. Okay.
Yeah.
So yan, 47. I'm 47. And then, okay, so they did it, they made it online. They live in Richmond, pero nasa Kingston upon Thames, kaya sila pupunta. Ando ng designated register. So what happens? They receive something?
Yeah, so mangyayari, I mean, they don't get to see the designated registrar immediately nga din, ano? So
Okay.
they will be asked initially to bring evidence of residence nga, no, yung passport nila. If they don't have a passport, yung birth certificate, for example, kung British nga dito. So those they bring evidence of their identification essentially, and also where they've been living in the United Kingdom. So that can be, as I've said, bills, bank statements, for example, the driver's license. So yun ang una. And then, usually I say to my clients, look, sabihin mo, kailangan nyo makita nga yung designated registrar. So it usually means that there's an issue with immigration, yung designated registrar. And then they'll make an appointment nga.
If you have to see a designated registrar, there is an issue with the immigration. If there's none, they won't see you.
They don't need to.
They don't need to.
So you can, they don't need to. They only really get involved if basically they're trained additionally, no, yung designated registrar to spot
and
say sham
assess.
marriages.
Okay. All right.
Yun. Yeah.
And then?
So if kung walang problema nga, then you don't need to see a designated registrar. You can see any registrar. So pagka nakita na kayong designated registrar, ang una nilang siguro sasabihin sa inyo is, okay, tanungin nila anong status nyo nga dito, and then they, if you say wala kang visa dito, or limited leave ka nga, estudyante sabihin natin, or tier 2, so under the points-based system, then the designated registrar would usually say, okay, pero alam nyo, kailangan namin itong i-report yung intention nyo to marry to the home office. Yung sasabihin din.
Okay.
So they will advise you.
Ayan. And then, the home office will give you a notice. Hindi. Kasi we were talking about the 28 days notice up to 70 days, which is, yung 28 days, who tells you, kailan yan? Well, okay, so yung registrar will tell you, sige, we'll have to submit this to the home office. So yung 28 days, kanina magagaling yung notice na 28 days?
from the registrar. So sasabihin nila sa inyo, okay, nandiyan na kayo, no? You've given notice you want to marry. So 28 days actually start counting from that day on. Yung nga lang, pagka sinabi na nga nung designated registrar sa home office na may balak nga kayo, then the home office usually will email. They hardly ever post nowadays. They will usually email to say, okay, yung 28 days notice that you've given, we want that extended to 70 days. So yung home office mismo magko-contact sa inyo.
Ayun. Okay. So, yung 28 days, yun ang regular. Pero pagka email tag dito ang home office nag-email sa'yo and said would like to extend it towards to 70 days because probably they would like to interview them more or probably they'd like to get more documents, di ba? Before they finally decide. Sabi mo kanina, yun nga, may 28 days notice to 72 days. May second is within 28 days, okay na. Kunyari, home office mag-email sa ito, no? And they say, okay ka na, no? Then you can marry. Tama ba? It's not the registrar. No, wala nang, yung hindi na yung designated registrar. At tapos, walang email sa home office na, kasi di ba, within 28 days, they send you something, tell you na okay na kayo mag-marry. Say, for example, walang pinadala, no, within 20, at hindi rin sinabi na hanggang 70 days, what you said was, to contact the registrar at least mga 27th day or a day before. Di ba?
Yes.
Para tanamin, ano na nangyari sa aming ano tawag dito? Application. So this is within 27 days. No? Kung hindi pumunta sa... Teka muna, itong 27th day, it was already forwarded to the ano, di ba? To the home office. So you're asking... Yeah. So you haven't received an email and now you're asking the designated registrar, kumusta na? Hindi ba you return back to home office and say, because they emailed you, how are you? How are you guys? What's the status of my application? Why is it the designated registrar? Why not the home office?
Yeah, no, and actually, it's a very good point. That I've also come across clients who just waited, no? Ayaw nilang abalahin nga, no? Sabi nila yung registrar, yung designated registrar, but that would be wrong because they will not make contact with you. So, kung wala pa rin silang sagot, wala pa rin silang contact yung home office within, the 28 days. I mean, you don't have to wait 27 day or 26 day, but you have to allow nga the 28 days because strictly speaking, the home office can still contact you on the 27th day, and they can say, well, actually, we want to extend the 28 days notice. So, sabihin natin on the 28th day, wala pa rin silang contact. Then, contact the registrar. Sabihin nyo sa kanila, look, hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin contact yung home office sa amin. So, can we have now, please, a date for our wedding? No? And kung yun lang iniintay nga nila, they should simply give you a date for your wedding. So, wag niyong intayin, no? Wag kayong mag-alala na abalahin yung designated registrar. You have to make contact with them because they will not make contact with you to say, 28 days has passed now. Do you want to marry? That they will not do. That is your responsibility.
Question, attorney. Okay. They email you, di ba? Ang home office, di ba? Nag-apply ka sa designated registrars. Sinabi niya, isasabit namin sa home office because, di ba, like you said, they are trained parang to spot sham marriages. They can more or less assess it, no? May feeling lang siguro sila, so they have to send it to the home office. The home office, like you said, emails you na would like to extend this to 70 days. Okay? Yun ang pinaka-maximum siguro. Are they remiss? Nakakalimutan ba nila? Minsan, ikaw, because you said, sige, mag-refine tayo on the 28th day do sa designated registrar, no? Sinabi ng home office they'll extend to 70. Have you had cases na or clients na malapit na mag-70 ba't wala pa tayong naririnig sa home office? May ganun bang cases?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean,
so what do you do? Kunyari, ganyan.
Yeah, I mean, same process nga, no? Sabihin natin, you did receive one email from the home office. Tapos sabi sa email, we would like to extend it to 70 days, no? Mm-hmm. And as you say, it's entirely possible the 70-day creeps up, tapos 70 days na, o lagpas na nga.
Oh, asan?
Again, wag yung wag kayong mag-alala. No, contact the designated registrar. Sabihin niyo sa kanila, look, the 70 days has now passed. No, can we now have please a date for our to marry? Because again, like the 28 days, they don't keep a diary. They will not contact you to say, okay, 70 days na po ngayon. Do you want to marry? It is your responsibility either on the 28th day and beyond, or the 70th day and indeed beyond. Contact them. Say, okay, lagpas na po. Can we now get a date?
Ayan, oo. Parang sa pagka nag-a-apply ka na visa papunta sa UK, di ba, sinasabi na, huwag mo na kayong bumili ng ticket dahil kung wala kayong hindi ka aprobadong visa nyo, di ba? Okay. So, same here. Hindi mo pwede sabihin na i-push siyang, kunyari, let's say, magsa 70 days na, wala pa rin, yung finality or wala pang kasiguraduhan na you're allowed to get married. Hindi mo pwede sabihin na, we already have booked a wedding, a club or a bar or whatever. We've already invited all our families, our friends we've already, we have a wedding date and we have everything. Hindi pa pwede yan, You cannot say na, hindi pa pwede i-push, i-blackmail. Walang ganun, Hindi pa pwede yan,
Well, no, it won't make any difference. It won't make any difference. At saka, actually, I would caution against booking, your inviting people, sending out your invites before this is sorted. Dahil nga, because even after the 70 days, sabihin natin, they actually make contact on the 70th day, Tapos sabihin nila, we have some concerns. We would like to invite you for a meeting, an interview. Kung sabihin nila yon, then of course, the reality is you can't marry, until you've seen the Home Office. And so it would not, of course, be good to have invited everyone, tapos kailangan mong i-postpone. So ang payo ko, do not take the step of sending out invites until you actually know you have your date nga already, and you know that the Home Office have not expressed nga concerns.
Noong nag-aaral, when I was studying law back home in the Philippines, attorney, there's a difference between a marriage certificate. Marriage certificate is a document, but license to marry, yung bang you can marry, like marriage license yon. But there is a parang how do you call it? Merong expiration, how do we call it? What's that technical term for that? Prescribe. When it prescribes, may prescription period. Dito ba, when you apply for ganyan to marry, is there a prescription period? Like, for example, this is effective within 3 months. If within 3 months you don't get married, you have to reapply again. Or you have to, do this, be married within 6 months. Meron ba rito yan?
12 months.
12 months. So what happens after 12 months? Hindi kayo kinasal, medyo, I don't know, for some reason, hindi natuloy. Wala na yun. Hindi nyo na pwedeng gamitin.
Yeah, you have to apply again.
So 12 months. Ayun something new yun Pagka hindi po nag-apply kayo ng marriage, parang so in short, it is a marriage license. You're now allowed to get married. And then pagka kinasal ka, merong certificate. Pero ibig sabihin, you're given a period of 1 year within which to get married. Pag hindi ka kinasal, apply ka uli. Parang yung sa mga drivers, yung mga theory exam, di ba? Driver's exam, no? Okay. Right. Sige. Attorney, switch na tayo diretso sa mga questions. Marami tayong mga questions dito.
Okay.
Okay. Ayan. Okay. So, meron tayong question dito kay, Mamot? Ayan. Mamot, pakibasa, attorney. Nababasa mo ba? Can you read it, attorney?
Yeah.
Sige,
So, good
pakibasa,
evening
attorney.
po. Tanong ko po, sana sa ILR, 5-year route po ko. 5 years na po ako next week. Oh, okay. 16th of October, 2016, nung dumating ko dito. Is it possible po, pwede na bang mag-apply ng ILR yung residence card ko? February 2022.
Kasi.
Right.
Kasi.
Kasi ang residence card ko February 2022 yung expiration niya, no? Kailangan ko pa bang antayin yung expiration card ko o pwede na ba ako mag-apply next week? I already passed all the exam test requirements. Thanks po. You can actually apply. I mean, the rules provide, the rules usually say, no, you should not apply for an extension of your visa until 28 days prior to the expiration of leave. That's guidance po yun. But in this case, the immigration rules, which trumps guidance nga, no, provide that you need to be able to show that you have been in the United Kingdom a minimum. You've had leave to remain, not in the United Kingdom. You've had leave to remain in the United Kingdom a total of 5 years. The last 12 months must be indefinite, no? And subject to that, and of course, depending kung anong klaseng visa mo nga dito, then you can make an application, in fact, for indefinite leave to remain. So the answer is, even though the guidance say, no, that you should not apply until 28 days prior to the expiration of your visa, which would of course be February 2022 or January 2022. If you've already clocked up the 5 years, subject to anong klase ng visa mo nga, then you can make an application actually a bit sooner. But the only concern I have is why usually timing, no, it fits actually the type of application that you have. So I just wonder really why it is na sumobra yung visa mo. So just be careful. But kung tuloy-tuloy yung visa mo, 5 years nga ka dito, and sabihin natin as a spouse, no, and you already got your indefinite leave to remain, for example, then you can apply. In fact, kung spouse ka, you could have applied sooner kung British nga yung asawa mo. So the answer is more likely than not you can, depending really kung ano nga ang visa mo nga ngayon, no? Actually, kung if you're watching now, no, email us, sabihin mo anong klase nga ang visa mo. We may be able to do that, but no, you can, as long as your visa allows for the 5 years, and you've had your indefinite nga last 12 months, unless you're married to a British citizen, in which case you could actually have applied much sooner. Sabihin mo sa amin, are you married to a British citizen?
Ayan, pakisagot yan. Kung married ka, kasi it has a different complexion in a way. Or merong spouse visa po ako. Ayan.
Madam. You should. So spouse visa ka, you got the 5 years. Absolutely, you can make an application na nga. So in fact, sa'yo, kung spouse, if you and your husband have been married for, and British nga siya, you've been married for more than 3 years, no? The good news is, not only can you apply for indefinite, which you can do now, pagka indefinite ka na, hindi mo kailangan mag-intay ng usual 12 months after indefinite. You can make an application immediately. In fact, the day after you get your indefinite for naturalization. Of course, using the same B1 test and the life in the UK. So do it. Do it sooner rather than later, because it's very likely that they increase the home office fees again.
Ayan, British ang asawa niya, no? Hindi siya ang British,
Yeah.
spouse visa. So ILR pa rin siya, no? Okay, Ada may question tayo, attorney, dito. Sige, pasok mo direct.
Okay, Ada. Look, lovely photos. Ada Quest.
Ada Quest.
So,
okay.
so sabi po niya, good evening po. Tatanong ko lang, I gave birth last January 2021 in the Philippines. I'm a British national na po nung nanganak ako sa Pinas. Hindi po ako dual. The father of the child is Filipino. Ano pong citizen ng anak ko? Pwede ko ba straight away may apply siya ng UK passport? Now, pinanganak siya sa Pinas.
January
sa Pinas.
last year.
And
British siya.
British siya.
Ang father Pinoy. I mean, Filipino citizen, Filipino citizenship. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Okay. So pwede niya mag-apply sa British Embassy sa Pilipinas ng passport?
Yeah.
Pwede. Okay, pwede raw.
So,
Ayan.
So diretso. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Uy, God bless you more si Mamot Pamor. God bless you both.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you rin. Oh, God bless you too. Oh.
Bless you. Yeah.
Sabi mo kanina, if you are watching, talaga she's watching, attorney. You can parang
Talaga.
contact. You were saying kanina, di ba? Baka parang they could contact you or something kung may mga additional questions. You were veered towards that, saying that, pero talagang they're watching us. Okay. We have a question from Natalie Jordana. Yan, pakibasa, attorney.
Okay, so Natalie asks, hello sa lahat. May tanong lang po ako sa inyo, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Pag babalik po tayo sa England, galing sa Pilipinas, kailangan po ba kumuha ng visa? O okay na po ba yung BRP ID lang ipakita sa airport? Wala po kasi kaming British passport, temporary residence pa lang. 3 years na kami dito, hindi pa kami nakakauwi. Okay, yung BRP mo, that is your visa, no? Or like rather, yun ang ebidensya ng visa mo. So, kung 3 years kayo dito, sabihin natin maybe leave to remain outside the normal rules, which is actually 2.5 years. So, kung may visa ka pa dito, may BRP ka, nandun nakatatak nga yung status mo, hindi mo kailangan panibagong visa uli dito as long as babalik kayo whilst that visa is still, of course, continuing. No? So, sabihin mo sa amin, ano bang klase ng visa mo? And likelihood is you can just come back. Kung may visa ka dito, then the visa continues unless somehow something has happened to curtail that visa, no? Which is probably unlikely in your case. So, hindi mo kailangan panibago. Your visa continues.
Attorney, hindi ba yan BRP? Ano ba yan? Hindi ba yan yung mga permanent residents? Yung indefinite leave to remain?
Yeah, the BRP is yun ang tawag dun sa card na ibibigay sa iyo. It usually looks a bit like a driver's license, no?
Yes.
So it's your residence permit essentially. So the BRP can either note na meron kang indefinite leave to remain, so settlement nga, o kaya meron kang spouse visa, no? O limited leave to remain outside the normal rules. So the BRP is really your ID. Yun ang ebidensya nga na mapapakita mo sa airport na meron kang visa dito. I mean, remember also, hindi na nila tinatatak nga, or they don't actually, hindi na nila tinatatak dun sa passport mismo yung visa. You get now a BRP, the one that looks a bit like a driver's license.
Hindi, kaya ako lang tinanong kanina, yung ILR. Di ba, pagka, BRP, no? Marami, sabi mo, pwedeng spouse visa, pwedeng indefinite leave to remain. Pero hindi ba pagka when you go beyond 2 years, for example, kung ikaw ay indefinite leave to remain, it causes a problem? So, sila ba 3 years na silang nasa labas? I don't know, I was just kind of confused, no? Pakilagay lang sa gilid yung question dito sa preview screen, yung question. Ayan. Ano yan? May, ano ito? Babalik ko dito sa
So, I think
3 years na po kami dito, hindi
visa.
pa kami nakakauwi. Ayun. Yung last line, doon ako medyo confused.
So, I think nandito sila sa England, ibig sabihin. So, may visa nga sila. At least the way I read it is...
Okay.
Yeah. So, the way I read it...
Na kami dito, hindi pa kami nakauwi. Teka mo
nandito sila sa England.
Pagbabalik po, at first line niya kasi, pagbabalik po kami dito sa England, galing ng Pilipinas. Teka na. Kailangan pa ba ako mo ng visa? Okay. Parang you're saying na parang andito sila. They're actually based here and
Nandito
they're trying to
sila.
parang they're posed the question na if we went back home to the Philippines, ganyan.
Yun na nga. Yeah.
3 years na po.
So, Natalie, yeah.
Pero
So,
naguguluhan
kung
ako,
nandito
nakukonfuse
kayo-
ako. Kasi what's the problem kung nandito kayo ng 3 years, di ba? Parang
Well,
Hindi sila makauwi
sometimes,
ng Pilipinas?
No. I mean, it's actually a question that's asked about relatively regularly, no? So pagka may visa nga sila dito, no? May visa yung tao dito.
okay.
Tapos sometimes people think na pagka umuwi sila sa atin, no? Kailangan nilang panibagong visa uling bago sila makabalik dito. So natatakot sila, ayaw nilang umuwi, no? But actually, yung visa nyo nga dito, as long as that visa is still continuing, hindi po yung problema. Hindi nyo kailangan visa uling pabalik nga dito. Because that visa just continues. That's the basis of your re-entry into the United Kingdom. So, the way I read the question is, nandito sila, 3 years ang visa nga, pwede ba silang, pagka umuwi sila, kailangan pa ba nila ng panibagong visa pabalik nga dito? So, the answer is no, as long as yung visa nga nila dito continuing pa.
Okay, question ko lang para maliwanawan ako kasi nalilito lang ako. Okay, so they have this BRP pero they all independently, meron din silang passport. Tama? Meron.
Tama.
Okay. Kung meron kang BRP and you have been away out of the country for more than 2 years, walang problema? You can just come back in?
No. That's different. No. Dahil, yung BRP, sabihin natin yung BRP, nandun yung indefinite leave to remain mo, no? Tapos, lumagpas ka na ng 2 years. Indefinite ka, lumagpas ka ng 2 years, nasa Pinas ka for all that time. Ang problema, hindi, is that for one thing, that BRP, the leave to remain, is kahit nga nandun pa rin, no, 20, sabihin natin, because the BRPs for indefinite leave to remain is usually granted for 10 years, no? Pero kung hindi, kahit nga hindi pa rin paso yung card, kung wala ka na dito for more than 2 years, the immigration rules provide that your indefinite leave to remain is, if you like, cancelled, no? Because you've not been living in the United Kingdom, you're not resident in the United Kingdom for the last past 2 years, no? Lumagpas na ng 2 years. So kahit nga hindi pa paso yung BRP mo, no? Because it's issued, as I say, for 10 years, mapapaso na yung visa mo mismo because of the fact that you've been away from the United Kingdom for more than 2 years.
Okay, kung spouse visa naman, may BRP na naman, out of the country for 2 years, walang problema? Because
No,
spouse visa, meron tayong sinusukat na yung lesson natin na applying for British citizenship yata a certain number of years, within 5 years, and every number of days, within the last year, they should have not gone beyond a certain number of days yata. So in a way, walang masyadong problema sa spouse visa.
Well, actually, no, that's not. There are potentially two issues. Ang una po, pagpapasok ka nga dito, no? Matagal ka na wala dito, nandito ang asawa mo, sabihin natin, no, nandun kayo. Then they may well say, pagka pumasok ka dito, the immigration officer at the airport, they may say, well, hang on, hindi na ba kayo dito nakatira? No? Kung hindi na kayo dito nakatira, wala kayong mapakita ng tenants that rented accommodation, say, or any kind of accommodation in the UK, or you have, if they say, okay, do you at least have bank accounts nga dito? Kung wala na kayong connection sa UK, then they may well say, well, hang on, in that case, you're no longer resident in the UK. And if that's the case, pwede din nilang bawiin, o putulin, rather, yung spouse visa mo. So, yung unang potential problem. Despite the fact that, it's maybe even under 2 years. No? The second issue is, kahit makapasok ka nga dito, because the 2 years, the 2-year rule, if you like, is to do nga with indefinite leave to remain. Pero sabihin natin, papasukin ka nga dito, no? When you make an application for indefinite leave to remain, that may cause you a problem because you have been absent from the United Kingdom for more than 2 years. So when you make an application for indefinite leave to remain, that means that you could they would say you've been absent from the United Kingdom more than 450 days in the last 5 years, for example. So therefore, you may not then be entitled, for example, for naturalization. No? So it has consequences. But sometimes kung wala kang magagawa, walang magagawa. Just be ready, no? And explain why it is that you've been away. So the 2 years, as I say, is to do now with indefinite leave to remain. But beware, nevertheless, spouse visa, it will cause you problems kung matagal ka nang wala dito sa UK.
Okay. While we are at it, may BRP. Is there any, so we mentioned you talked about the ILR and then the spouse visa. Is there a visa in which you having a BRP and you're out of the country for more than 2 years? Meron mag BRP na okay lang, even if you're away for 2 years or 3 years, okay ka pa? Status mo?
Well,
Anong klase visa yan?
generally you should not, because 2 years is of course a long time, no? And any kind of visa that allows you some degree of permanency in the UK, spouse visa being being the most common nga, no? Usually, well, they would want to see na residente nga kayo dito. If you've been away for 2 years or more than 2 years nga, then it is entirely possible na sasabihin ng immigration officer, no, in that case, hindi ka na residente dito. Now, the other things would be, if you have leave to remain outside the normal rules, tapos binigyan ka 2.5 years and you're away for 2 years, again, there's then the question of residence. So there's no visa really that, if you like, is safe, no? Where someone has been absent for more than 2 years. So I always say, if you can avoid the problem, avoid it. Because 2 years is an awfully long time to be away.
Okay, we have another medyo related sa mga BRP card or kaya mga ganito. No? Okay, Lilis Katan-Riz. Sorry, Lilis, I don't know how to pronounce your name. If it's Lilis, sorry, okay lang. Ito, basahin mo, attorney. May 2 messages up. Babasahin mo one after the other. Sige, go ahead.
Okay, so good evening po sa inyong dalawa, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. May tanong lang po ako. Mag-a-apply na po ako ng second FLRM extension visa ko. Ilang days po pa pwede ko mag-start ng application? Maraming salamat po and God bless ninyo. 28 days po.
Sorry, may continuation.
Mag-expire kasi yung BRP card next year, 28th of March. So when is the best month mag-start ng mag-apply? So you should submit your application. The guidance say no earlier than 28 days prior to the expiration of your leave to remain. So on that basis, 28th of February. But look, Litis, you can also, the spouse visa ka nga, no? You can also make use of what's called the premium service sa home office po, no? So that means they offer either a 1-day service or 1-week service. So kung nagmamadali ka, and don't apply before the 28 days, no? Pero kung nagmamadali ka, especially if you're looking to travel nga, you may want to make use of the premium service. And the cost of it depend on really which there are different types nga. But the most common one means it's an additional £800. So kung nagmamadali ka, you can do that. And usually they're quite good. They normally get you your BRP within 7 days. Actually, at the moment we're getting the BRPs on that basis a bit sooner, within the 7-day time.
Okay, ayan. Lighties pala, no? Ayan. Ano ulit sagot mo, attorney? Paki-recap nga yung sagot mo sa kanya.
So ang payo ko,
ano nga pala FLRM? Ano yung FLRM?
It's the family application, spouse application.
FLRM extension visa ko. Ayan, sabi niya mag-a-apply na po ako ng second FLRM extension visa ko. Yan, ilang days po ba mag-start na application? Marami sa okay. All right, so at least nasagot. Nakakatuwa naman, no? We have tong BRP, mga at kung ano-ano pa, no? Yung aking son nagkaroon ng I think he had to apply for his BRP. They wouldn't want to give him ano pangalan nito ng ano ba tawag dito? Meron kasi siya mga benefits na yung BRP na hanap. Ayan. Okay. Doon sa mga first time na nakikinig, ano ba ang BRP? What is BRP? What does it stand for? So, di ba, biometric, ano yan?
Biometric residence permit. No?
Okay.
So basically, in the olden days, I mean, we're looking at about a decade now, no? In the olden days, yung visa nyo nakatatak doon sa passport mismo. Pero ngayon, hindi na po doon tinatatak sa passport. Nandun na, bibigyan kayo ng card, no? Actually, for employers, kailangan nila makita yung card mismo. So may mga, actually, I still have quite a few clients nga, dahil matagal na nga sila dito, yung visa nila, yung indefinite nga nila, nandun pa rin nakatatak sa passport, no? They've not bothered to actually get a BRP. Pero kung magtatrabaho kayo, o indeed, as ID, no? Most of the time, yun gusto na makita. Actually, even for landlords, employers, absolutely. Anyway, anything to do with say benefits, no? Gusto na makita yung BRP mismo, yung Biometric Residence Permit. And kung meron kayong indefinite leave to remain na application na kailangan yung pasok ay yung tawag NTL, no time limit stamp. Yung bibigyan kayo ng BRP, nandun yung settlement sasabihin doon. So basically, indefinite leave to remain nga kayo dito. Kung limited leave to remain kayo, for example, spouse, no? Like Litis, yung card niya, sasabihin doon, no, is spouse, no? And then sa likod, it then tells you, are you allowed to say get benefits, for example, or not, no recourse to public funds. So yung BRP, importante po yun, especially when you're traveling, no? Because you'll find that kung nakatatak nga lang yung visa sa passport nyo, you'll probably be held for longer because they need to check. Kung meron kayong BRP, mas mabilis because it's all the security measures are on there. It's just you'll find going through immigration nga much easier.
Okay, ayan. Okay. All right. Naku, sunod-sunod ang question natin. Ito na, attorney, ating last question for tonight, no? Ito, mula sa ating viewer, no? Okay, ito ay coming from Club Air. Ayan, attorney.
Club Air. Okay. So, hi, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Would anyone know if once on a UK tourist visa and nandyan na sa UK, pwede bang mag-apply for a US tourist visa? Or British citizens and permanent residents lang bang pwedeng mag-apply sa US consulate? Thanks in advance. Oh, that's it's an interesting question. I mean, it's I can't see any. Put it this way. Certainly with the EU countries, that's not a problem. No. So I certainly have had clients nga nandito sila on a visit visa. Then they decide actually we want to go and visit Spain. No. It's not been a problem to then make an application dito. But the only I would guess, and this is very much a guess, no, that you should be able to apply to the US Embassy for a visit visa then, because of course it's their rules that would apply. Nothing is stopping you, at least from the immigration rules, from doing that nga. So it would be more of a US issue. But again, I can't see that that's necessarily a problem. The only thing nga is timing, no? Dahil of course most 6 months ang visa nga dito kung visit visa ka. You may find that when you make an application, especially to places like the US, at least at the moment nga, and kung visit visa ka nga dito, that it may take actually that long for your application to get sorted. So kung ako kayo, if you have a choice, if you already know your schedule, then you should apply really from, say, kung nasa Pinas ka nga, to apply then. Pero kung nandito ka na, you want to go to the US, there's probably nothing stopping you. But I suspect that that's probably on the website. But if you can't find it, email me and I'll look it up. Because now I'm curious also, no?
Pwede ba yun? Parang hindi yata. Feeling ko kasi, ang lagi sasabihin, go back to your country of origin, doon ka mag-apply, no? But you can give it a try. Hindi ka pa happy sa UK, pagpasyal mo na UK, parang dito, pagdating mo na US, magtatanong ka na naman sa amin ni Attorney Lira, I'm here now in the US, can I go to Canada? Apply within para wala ka ng pinagganuhan, no? Pero ewan ko lang, sa akin lang, feeling ko lang, hindi ko alam, no? Parang they might ask you to go back from your country of origin and to apply for that, no? Parang hindi yata pwede yung, kunyari, nasa Pilipinas ka and then you apply for a visitor's visa sa UK, and then nung nasa UK ka, I'd like to go to Paris, France. I don't know. Pwede ka ba mag-apply sa French Embassy to France? Ito, attorney, any idea? Pwede ba? Maski visitor's visa ka?
In fact, okay, this was pre-pandemic, but it wasn't that long ago, pre-pandemic, no? I've certainly had clients who who've traveled into the United Kingdom. Tapos visit visa nga lang.
Okay.
They're not Filipino passport holders nga. But then they decided actually, they just want to go
Sandali. They're not Philippine
to
passport
France.
holders. American passport
Yeah,
holders?
but it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So America. No, not American.
Hindi ko America, walang problema. All they have to do is to buy a ticket and go to di ba? They don't need a visa to go to France.
Yeah. So it's no, then they were not American. No, that's true actually. No, they're Canada.
Philippines.
So it shouldn't actually be an issue. But Philippines, no. Look, I think, and yeah, again, hula nga lang to, no. I think you probably can. But
Okay.
I tell you
sige.
what, I would be interested to know now. And so after this, actually, kung meron tayong mga viewers nga, no, na alam nyo, let us know. But otherwise, I'm going to look it up. Tapos, if we don't have time now, then let's discuss it next week. Tingnan natin kung sinong tama.
Virgie Smith nagbibigay sa atin ng attorney, research lang natin just for those who are curious.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Absolutely.
If you come over to the UK, for example, on a visitor's visa, can you apply for a Schengen? Ano ba pronunciation? Schengen?
Schengen. Yeah,
Schengen.
visa.
That's a proper way of pronouncing it. Schengen. Ayan. Okay. So, Schengen visa. Schengen, tama? Schengen. Oo.
Schengen,
Ang Schengen kasi, ang kagandahan si Schengen, ano tawag dito? You can travel in all those countries na kasama si Schengen, no? Italy, France, Germany,
Austria,
Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium. Ang dami mo pwedeng puntahan.
Yeah.
Di ba? Pero, hindi porke may visa ka, nasa Schengen visa ka, you can go straight to the UK. Hindi po pwede. It's a separate visa. Gusto ko lang explain. Ito, hindi ako immigration, baka sabihin nyo, Sani, Laragan, nagmamarunong hindi, si attorney ho, pinakamarunong dyan. Alam niya yan. Kaya lang, ang alam ko, applying, when you wanna come to Europe, okay, hindi porke nagkaroon ka ng visa sa Schengen, makakapunta ka sa UK. Hindi ho. Yata, di ba? Tama ba, attorney? Baka, correct me if I'm wrong. Tama.
Tama ka. Tama ka. Absolutely.
Hindi pwede. Akala kasi nila. Pero, when I first came over many years ago, I had to apply to both. I had to apply to the French embassy for my Schengen, and I had to apply to the UK for my visitor's visa. Meron akong dalawang dala. Kaya pagdating ko sa UK, I think that was November when I arrived, or almost December. November. So in December, I still had my visa for my Schengen na hindi pa expired, and that's the reason why I was able to go to Paris, France, and come back to the UK.
Yeah.
Yun. So,
No, tama ka.
Hindi kasi pinag-uusapan kasi sabi niya, if I have a UK tourist visa or a UK visitor's visa, can I apply going to the US? Di ba? From within, from the UK. So, yun ang tanong. Oo. So, hindi natin alam. I-research natin yon. Pero ang alam ko, absolutely, pag may Schengen, hindi ka pwedeng pumunta sa UK unless you will have to apply for another visa coming to the UK. Tama ba, attorney?
Tama. Yun, tama. Absolutely.
Tama.
That's still the case. Yeah. Tama.
That's still the case. Okay. All right. Siguro, yun ang ating last question, yung tungkol sa i-research natin, attorney, yan, for added information. Although it's not UK covered talaga sa ating UK immigration, pero parang added information na binibigay natin sa mga natin. Pwede pa yun pag naka... sige, may Tigbaw Reyes, may parang commentary. Sige, basahin mo nga yan. Attorney, pakibasa.
Okay, galing po to kay May. May Tigbaw Vargas. So, pwede po yung pag naka-group tour sa Europe under the travel agency. May mga kaibigan po akong Pinoy na nakapag-group tour sa Europe before the pandemic.
Ano yan? Parang andito sila sa tourist visa? Gano'n ba yung sabihin? Or sila ba may parang limited leave to remain sa UK? Gano'n? Malabo yata yung tanong niya, parang bitin, no?
Yeah, so group tour, I mean, nothing stopping you from being with others, no? That traveling Europe with others via, you group tour nga. Yeah, of course, yeah, before the pandemic. By the way, of course, now,
UK-based sila.
so-
Are they, lahat ba sila UK-based? Ganun? Kasi pinag-uusapan natin galing sa Pilipinas, papunta rito. No? So, UK-based
So,
ba yan na
kung Pinoy,
andi dito
yeah.
o nag-tourist dito, tapos kumuha ng tour. Pero kung kasama sila sa travel agency, kasama na yung visa no, nilalakad na ng tour agency sa Pilipinas yan, di ba? Ang travel tour sa... I'm a Filipino. I paid a travel agency and I don't know kung they facilitated my visas with the British Embassy and the Schengen visa or a Schengen visa. Pwede yun, posible yun. Pero ang sinasabi mo ba, may nandito kayo sa sa UK, may limited leave to remain kayo, and by virtue or by way of a travel operator, you were able to travel sa Schengen, maaaring in-apply sila ng visa sa sa respective di ba? Respective European country, EU country.
Yeah, I think May I think kampi ko si May. I think she's saying here that she can nandito nga sila tapos then they got a European visa from the United Kingdom to also then travel nga Europe. I think yung sinasabi nga niya, no? But yeah, by the way, just on that, no, just in case people don't know yet, I suspect it's probably known by many now. So the Philippines is no longer, thank goodness, on the red list, huh? I've had so many people call me since last week. Nga.
Yes.
So sabi nila, tama ba to? No? Totoo ba na hindi na tayo red list? And the answer is no, we're not red list anymore. So kung gusto nyo umuwi sa atin, gusto nyo bumalik dito, hindi na natin kailangan mag-quarantine in the hotel, which was £2,200, no? And so, it's holidays are a little bit easier. And I think at the end of the month, you were saying this, Sonny, I think at the end of the month nga papalitan din nila the PCR test to lateral testing, which may be a cheaper way of also getting the tests nga, no? So travel is getting a little bit easier. But the good news is, wala na tayong red list. Philippines anyway.
All right. Okay. O nga. At saka na raw? Totoo ba yan? From dati, 5 days ang, di ba, naging 5 days lang yata. Ngayon, wala na yata attorney.
Tama.
Tama. So, good
Wala na
yun.
po.
Okay.
So, it's either red list ka and the rest of the world.
And the rest of the world.
So,
Okay. Ayan, malinaw na. At thank you very much dahil good news yun. Tuwan-tuwa tayo. Hot off the press, sabi nga, di ba, yung alert mo, sabi mo, meron kang immigration home office alert. Di ba? Not all the time you really need it, but for some updates, it's very good, no? At least alam mo kagad kung ano latest. May iba-iba kasi mga yung mga for your siguro, for your purposes, yung mga siguro additional instructions, whatever na di ba? Mga legalistic or mga formal na diyan, no? Ayan. Okay. Mga pagbati natin, sino to? Cora Carzola. Ma'am Cora. Asan na ba yan? Si Ma'am Cora ba yan?
Yeah.
Magpapaalam tayo. Sige.
Carzola.
Sige.
Yeah, so happy and productive night, Sir Sonny, Attorney Lira, and handsome bubble blue shirt, Sir Sonny, and pretty bubblegum pink dress ni Attorney Lira.
Yes.
Salamat po, Ma'am
Ganda.
Carzola.
Thank you. Next.
The Libroho team. Hi, happy Thursday po. Blooming and bright, Attorney Lira, and the most romantic and poging Pinoy DJ in UK, Sir Sonny, and kababayan from Team Libroho.
Thanks, Rudy, no? Mabuhay yan. Magandang lalaki si Rudy, no? Ayan, okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Miss Vargas, good evening, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Happy Thursday po sa lahat. God bless. Tama ka. Yeah, God bless us all.
Okay, we're going up, direct. Okay, Marilyn Jones. Sige, Marilyn Jones, sige.
Marilyn Jones. Good evening, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Oh, look at that. It's lovely photo. No?
Mga flowers, no?
Red roses. Yeah.
Ayan. Okay. Right. Okay. Sige. MM Killing.
Nakasingit si Miss Enya. I was waiting for you, Miss Giling. I was waiting. No?
Ayan.
Yeah, yun na nga. So, hi, good evening. Happy Thursday po sa lahat, Sir and Ma'am. Hi, Miss Giling. Thank you for joining. Alam ko, busy siya. Ang sipag nito.
Masipag? Okay.
Yeah.
Ayan, alright.
Ada Quest, thank you po.
Sino pa ba dyan?
You're very welcome.
Efren
Yes,
Smith.
si Ada. You're very
Yan.
you're very welcome, Ada.
Sino itong lumalabas
Litis.
na message? Maraming salamat.
Galing po to.
Sa kasagutan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yun na po.
Efren Smith.
Efren
Oh.
Smith. Great work.
Great work. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, no?
Sala.
Ayan, thank you. And, sino to?
Oh, okay.
Earl.
Oh, okay.
Lynn.
Maybe
Pen-
she's, yeah.
Panias de Mapilis.
So, Schengen po ang visa ko, pero nakapasok po ako ng UK. Galing po ako ng Poland.
Paano?
Galing po ako. Schengen po ang visa ko. You should
Paano ka
not.
nakapasok?
It's the quick answer. So, galing po ako ng Poland.
Poland,
Okay?
oo. Pero paano ka nakapasok?
Well, it could be, I mean,
Paano siya
just maybe a
nakapasok?
while ago, bago Brexit, no? So, kung kasama mo yung partner mo and he's Polish, no? Under the then EU
Direct,
rules.
pakitanggalan mo na yan. Basahin ko lang yung question. Di ko para maintindihan. Ayan. Ayan. Asan na ba yan? Ayun, Schengen po visa ko. Ayan, nakapasok ko ng
Yeah.
UK. Galing po ako ng Poland. Ano kaya? Parang transit? Na parang, di ba yung mga transit? Misa kumukuha rin ng visa sa UK yung dadaan lang eh. Tapos, ano? Yung
Yeah,
mga
but it's also possible.
seamen?
Yeah.
Oo.
It
Ano?
could
It's
be,
possible.
but
Yeah, okay.
it's more likely though, kung kasama mo yung, sabihin natin, asawa mo, partner mo from Poland, of course, before we did we Brexited nga. When you enter the United Kingdom as a spouse of an EU national, no, even though, and in this, you didn't have, say, a family permit at the time to enter the United Kingdom. Under the EU law, actually, at the time, they should still allow you to come into the United Kingdom, because otherwise it would be in breach of the EU, if you like, no commitments that the UK government made. So it could be that. But actually, I wouldn't mind knowing.
Hindi,
Kasama
confusing
mo
yun,
ba dati
attorney.
yung asawa mo?
Hindi, kasi kung ang asawa niya kung British, nakabase sa Poland, bakit kailangan pa niya ng Schengen visa? Ando na siya sa...
Yeah, well,
Di ba?
yeah, but it could be na sabihin natin dun sila nakatira nandun sila sa Poland for whatever reason she has a Schengen visa nga, no? Or it could be na pumunta siya sa Poland, she got a Schengen visa, sabihin natin sa Pinas, punta siya Poland, and then they maybe even got married there and came into the United Kingdom with the partner nga. If that's the case, then I'm not surprised. Kasama nga niya yung Polish partner nga niya, no? Even though maybe she didn't even have a family permit because he's coming in to exercise his treaty rights and she's a family member. But
Naintriga ako.
I'm
Naintriga ako
curious
talaga.
na.
Schengen visa, pero nakapasok sa visa sa UK, no? Paano kaya ang kwento
More
niyo?
details.
More details
Yeah,
daw,
more
please.
details.
Okay.
Please.
Kasi ang sinasabi mo scenario kanina, attorney, she might be married to a British citizen, then who's parang ganun, who probably
Polish.
visited here. Polish. Pero kung Polish, bakit magsi-Schengen pa siya, di ba? Kung Polish. Ando na siya eh.
Yeah,
but anyway,
pero she could be
yeah.
married to someone Polish.
She could be married to a Polish citizen,
Yeah.
and then they had to visit the UK. But why? What's the need for a Schengen visa if you're married to Anyway, sige, okay lang. Nalilito lang ako. hindi ko ma I cannot get my head around it, no. Okay. Si May Tigbaw, ayun. Philippine passport po sila. Yan, attorney. Nag-tour sa Europe through the travel agency sa Taiwan. OFW sila sa Taiwan. Tama nga naman. Siguro, they're working in Taiwan, mga Pinoy. They didn't have to go back to the Philippines to apply. So, doon siguro sila. So, by way of a travel agency, anyway, authentically, meron naman silang travel dito as tourist. So, yun siguro. So, they had both. They applied for the UK visa. They applied for the Schengen visa. Tama ba, May? Parang ganun. Kasi I don't think they would be coming over to the UK, and from the UK, while tourists, mag-a-apply sila to go to mag-Schengen. So, coming out of Taiwan, coming over from Taiwan as Filipino tourists based in Taiwan, dahil siguro working sila and they had a chance to travel, siguro yung tour operator was able to secure visas on both the UK and a Schengen visa. Tama ba, attorney? Ayan. Kasi Philippine passport sila eh.
Could.
Nag-tour sa Europe through travel agency sa Taiwan. Ayun.
Yeah,
Oh.
it could be. Yeah,
What
could
do you
be.
think? Pero what do you think? Pakita mo nga, ano. So, ganun lang siguro. Baka from Taiwan pa lang, in-applyan na ng both, ano tawag dito, ng UK visas at saka Shenzhen. Kasi I don't think na
Yeah.
in-apply Shenzhen lang
Yeah,
kasi they can come over to the UK. I don't think so.
No, I don't think it's to do with. I think I think the point she's making nga is pwede silang mag-apply nga po wala akong nawala.
Sandali, hindi yata ma-switch na direct. Ako na magsiswitch. Okay.
Ah.
Ayan. So,
Yeah, sorry.
Ay, okay na, attorney. Naku, ang dami natin mga questions. Nice feedback from our kababayan. So, mabuhay, no? Pati mga hindi mo ini-expect mong, well, at least pumasok si M. Giling, no? Pumasok sa atin. Okay, well, it's been a nice evening again. We're gonna look forward again to what you're gonna wear. And people are gonna be commenting again on your, ano yung susuot mo. Tayo, naka-baby blue ako. Like you said, you were the one who said, I'm wearing a baby blue polo shirt and you are wearing a bubblegum pink attire tonight.
Tama.
Kita mo,
Yeah.
Ganda.
Yun na nga.
So, ayan. Well, it's been a nice night, attorney. No? Ganda. May mga questions tayo. We discussed the BRP. You have an assignment. If they came over as a UK tourist, would they be able to apply from here to visit the US? Yan, di ba? O, sige.
Yeah.
Okay. Tama rin. Tsaka nanawagan ka kanina doon sa mga kaibigan natin. Normally, sila Virgie Smith yan. Nagme-message eh. Di ba? Eh baka wala pa lang tayo nag-message lang na ano. Okay. Alright. I guess it's time for us to say goodbye, attorney. How do they contact you? Kung sakasakaling, meron silang mga dagdag tanong or, they want to secure your services, attorney, go ahead, please.
Yeah, look, thank you again, for joining us. Salamat po. It's always truly a pleasure, and it's so enjoyable. Ang dami natin mga input and from everywhere. So salamat po. Now, if I didn't deal with your questions nga dahil wala nga tayong time o kaya gusto niyo pang you want to clarify a few things, please feel free email me kabatbat@douglas so with 2s tapos -simon.com. Lagay niyo nga lang please in the subject matter nga immigration corner. So just in case buksan ko tapos I close it and I never find it again. So please do that, no? Lagay niyo din yung mobile number niyo in case again it's something that I can deal with fairly quickly. Maybe easier for me just to call you. So feel free as I say to email nga. And kung meron kayong mga topic na gusto niyo pag-usapan for next week, by all means email me. I mean, one topic actually that in fact, 3 people emailed me about last week and this week nga is the graduate scheme, no? So, mga estudyante who then want to avail themselves of the graduate scheme, which we kind of touched upon before. So, I think it may be a topic na tignan natin for next week. So, kung meron kayong mga estudyante nga kayo and you want to see if it's something that applies to you, tune in next week. But again, thank you po. I'm so humbled that you take the time to be with us. It is certainly my pleasure, and I look forward to next Happy Thursday. Di ba, Sonny?
Yes. Oo. And maganda yung teaser natin. So yung mga students out there, watch out for yung graduate. Ano ulit yun?
The graduate scheme. Yeah.
Graduate scheme.
That scheme is probably one of the most innovative, routes that's been introduced. Well, it's reintroduced because it was really it's a reincarnation of another option nga from before. But it's the graduate scheme is a very useful option nga kung nandito kayo, estudyante nga kayo dito, and you want to stay in the UK and want to actually work in the UK. And the graduate scheme is a very generous route. So, pag-usapan natin next week.
Is this like an updated, enhanced version? Because I remember we discussing that before. May update, may parang konting updates?
Yeah, so there've been a number of updates nga.
Okay,
so your conditions nga, but it is something that's I suppose it's taking a lot of people are now becoming aware that it's a possibility. Less Filipinos actually. A lot of my inquiries are coming from students who are from India, no, Pakistan, for example, less so Filipinos. So I want to discuss it just in case nga, no, it's applicable to
Yes.
marami tayong estudyante
Yes.
dito,
Oo,
no?
oo. Eh, bala ko nga yung yung apo ko nga pag-aralin ko. 16 years old na siya bukas. Actually ngayon na. Sa Philippines, may apo ko 16 years old. At she's very, very beautiful. Ang pangalan niya si Kyle. Kyle, no? Apo ko yan.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kyle. I love you. She was born daw October 15 na sa Pilipinas, di ba? 14 ngayon. Tama ba? Attorney? Oo. She was born 11:56. Parang almost noon time. October 15. So she's turning 16. Sweet 16 yung aking mahal na apo na si Kyle. Ayan. Ang kanyang regalo sa kanyang mom and dad, yung kanyang braces. Nagpa-braces siya.
Talaga.
Oo. Sa Pilipinas daw yata, 35,000 pesos yata ang braces. So,
Wow.
there you are. Yeah, attorney. Oo, ganun. Kasi meron siyang, kilala mo ba si Sharon Cuneta? Yung kumanta na,
I remember, naabutan ko siya.
Mr. DJ, can I make a request? Di ba yun?
Yeah,
Yun.
absolutely. Yan nga. Tatandaan ko siya.
Ayan, oo. Hindi, kasi may sungki yung ngipin, kaya dinaretso. Parang ganun yung, parang yung sa apo ko. Parang isang naligaw. So, ayan. Okay, well, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye, no? Meron nag-message kanina, parang heart si Jamelyn Lamare. Hindi na natin siguro maipakita, pero okay na siya. Si Jamelyn Lamare. Ayan, may heart lang siya. Siguro she loves the show. Ayan, she loves the program. So, thank you. Sige. Okay, well, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye, no? Gaya nga na sinabi ni, parang talagang, well, nakakamiss, no? We're gonna see each other again next week, attorney, no? And looking forward to what you're going to be wearing again. And looking forward to our friends who are messaging us and watching us and keeping us company dito sa ating social virtual bubble family, no? At dito po sa Filipino TV Europe at sa Immigration Corner. So, sa ngalan ho ni Attorney Lira SIMON-CABATBAT, sa ngalan ng ating direktor na si Paula Perez, ito po si Sonny Laragan nagsasabing thank you very much sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay sa ating Happy Thursday na program na Immigration Corner. Let's do it again next week and let's talk about the graduate scheme, no? Kung anong maganda dyan. So till then, it's Sonny here saying thank you very much for keeping us company. Whatever you do, guys, hit it with your best shot. Good night.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you. So you can be there for them.